All right, so you see what he's asking. And he asked me this a while ago. He sent me an email wanting me to talk about this, but I forgot, honestly. Like, I've been intending to make a video on this, but I forgot to do it. So I guess we'll talk about it now. But yeah, the club scene is immature. It's immature. It's crazy because like with adults, it seems as though recall back to a time when you was a kid, like all the different things you could do to have fun as a kid. You know, just think of that. But it's like when you're an adult, fun is only limited to drinking, getting wasted, getting fucked up, going to the club, something that has to deal with alcohol, you know, something that have to do with drinking. It seems as though like when I became an adult, all the people I surrounded myself with, it seemed like that was really their only way of having fun. Like on a typical Friday night or a Saturday night. That's really all they could do to like have fun, to have a good time, was getting wasted, you know, or going to the club. Which, let me be clear, ain't nothing wrong with that, but they would take it to the extreme. That's all they would do. You hit them up asking what they would be doing. That's what they would be doing. You know what I'm saying? But I guess the guy's asking like the club scene, like it's immature. I guess he's trying to ask like what people do when they go there. Like, for example, when you go to the club, pretty much it's like a competition type thing, especially with females. You know, like when chicks go to the club, they get dressed up and all that. They're like competing with other females. It's like who can outdo who can outdress, who can wear the best dress, or who can wear the most name brand stuff like that. So I guess in his video request, he's asking me to talk about that. You know, it's immature in that sense. And it is immature because, you know, you got these grown adults and they out here just competing with one another. And dudes too, you know, when dudes go to the club, yeah, they're competing with other dudes. You know what I mean? They're competing with other guys, like who got the flyest gear on, you know, Jordans and all that, who can talk to the most chicks. All right, but and another thing about the club scene ain't what it used to be. All right, the club scene, in my previous video, I spoke about that, how they're not making as much money. Okay, the club owners, they're not making as much money as they used to because club scene's not what it used to be. A lot of these guys, they go to the club, they're just getting rejected anyway. I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's what's happening, because like when these chicks go to the club, really they're just going there to impress other females. I know how that sounds, but it's the truth. They're going there not necessarily to pick up dudes, but more so to get validated, to get validation. All right, because even back in the day, like I ain't gonna lie, I used to go to the club back in the day, like back in the early 2000s and stuff like that. Okay, because it was different back then. But we would go to the club. Like this is when I was in the military. Okay, that's just something you do when you're in the military. But we would go to the club, you know, we would just sit down and just observe. And, you know, you have all these dudes, they walk up to these chicks, right? Get rejected, just blatantly rejected. All right, you know, they'll sit down, get drunk, I guess to build up the confidence to talk to a chick. By that time, they're wasted, you know, their words are slurred. We watch them approach these chicks, try to talk, and just get rejected. And that was pretty much like every dude. So even back then, I just put two and two together. All right, she's turning down all these dudes. She's rejecting all these dudes. So why is she there? She's there to get validated, because by these guys walking up to her and asking her out, or asking her to dance or whatever, asking her to come home with them, that's inflating her ego, okay? And it's inflating her ego even more when she's rejecting those dudes. You see what I mean? And this would happen all the time. We would just sit there and observe, just have our little drinks, whatever. Each dude walk up to these chicks, just get rejected, and he'll walk away with his head down, just his head down, you know. Whatever little confidence he built up, it went down below zero when she rejected him. All right, because he had to drink, he had to get wasted just to get the confidence to walk up to this chick and talk to her in the first place, only to get rejected. And his little confidence went down even less than what it was before he started drinking. See what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say, when these chicks go to these clubs just to get validation, because they already know They already know they looking fly. They already know they looking good. They already know these thirsty ninjas want to holler at them, or whoever, you know. It don't just gotta be ninjas. Want to talk to them. All right, just dudes in general. Just it don't matter the race. Just dudes in general want to talk to them, and yeah, they get a kick out of rejecting guys. So it's like an ego boost. All right, because truth be told, they got low self-esteem as is. So when they reject the dude, it boosts their self. I'm talking about the females. They got a low self-esteem. So when they reject these dudes, it boosts their little self-esteem up. Okay, that's why they get dressed. That's why they look so fly. And then when they reject these dudes, it gives them a little boost in their ego and their self-esteem. That's how that works. So by you asking me, is the club scene immature? Yes, it is. It's very much immature. I just explained to you why it's immature, because these are grown adults we're talking about. Okay, how old's the drinking age? 21? I guess you gotta be 21 to get in. I don't know, but anyway, 21 is still a grown adult. Okay, yeah, a young adult, but you're still a grown adult. Anywhere from 21 up to 40, I say. From 21 up to 40. That's usually what be at the club. Maybe up to 45. I don't know, but that's usually what's there. Okay, grown adults. That's the point I'm trying to make. And they act like little kids. Okay, dudes getting rejected, dudes competing with other dudes, females competing with other dudes. All right, and I haven't even got on the amount of money you can spend in one night at a club. Okay, because even back in the day, all right, you could spend like $300, $400, $500 in one night, just in one night at one club, not going from club to club. Just in one club, you can spend like $300, $400, $500. All right. Some dudes even like, they'll go as far as like buy a table. Like they'll buy their own table. That can cost like $500. They'll buy their own table. And when they do that, they trying to look like they balling, you know, they trying to look like they got money. And again, that's just to attract females. So these dudes will go to the club. There'll probably be like 3 or 4 dudes. They'll buy a table. All right, a VIP or whatever, just so it look like they got money to hopefully attract females. They'll do that. Sometimes it work, most times it don't, but that's what they'll do. They'll spend $500, whatever other amount, just to try to attract women. So that's another immature way they spend money. All that happens at the club, all right? And the drinks, you spend like maybe $15 for a Modelo or for a Corona. So really, yeah, the club owners are losing money, like I said, but really at the end of the day, they're the only ones that's winning. When, as far as the club scene, the club owners are the only ones that's actually winning, because they're making money, not making as much money, but they're making money. Everyone else is going there. They're just losing money. And yeah, like all these dudes that be going, they're just losing money. They're buying these girls drinks. Nothing happens after that. All right. These dudes will go to the club, buy a chick a drink, maybe get her number if he's lucky. Next day, hit her up. He get left on red. See, he get left on red. All right. And dudes do that all the time. They'll buy these chicks drinks, thinking that's going to lead somewhere. They lead with their wallet pretty much. All right. They lead with their wallet. Like the dudes that buy the table for $500. They're trying to lead with their wallet, trying to make it seem like they got money, try to attract a female. See, but no, they'll buy a chick drinks, get her number, hit her up next day, get left on red. See, that's what happened at the club. That's what I'm trying to say. The club scene is dead. Not as many guys are going as they used to, but either way, the club scene is just, it's lame, to be honest with you. It really is. It's lame. It's the same old thing. It's lame, to be honest with you. Okay, it's the same old thing each time you go. Hell, it can even be violent. You step on somebody's Jordans, people got shot at clubs too. You step on somebody's Jordans, they get mad, pull out a gun and shoot you. All right, that's happened at clubs, or fights break out. Dudes get into fights over a female. Okay, if one dude see another dude talking to a girl he like, a fight will break out. Stupid stuff like that. And again, these are all grown adults. All right, grown ass men and grown ass women. Grown ass, okay, I use that word lightly. They're grown, but mentally wise, they're freaking kids. Okay. Like they act like little kids. You see what I mean? So I haven't been to a club in like probably like 15 years, and I have no desire to go to one. I rather like, I rather like buy a case. If I don't drink, but if I do drink, I rather just buy a case of beer, drink it at the house, man, honestly. Because like I said, you buy a drink at a club, it's going to be like $15. It's probably more nowadays. I don't know how much it is nowadays, but it's going to be more than $10. That same $10, go to the liquor store and get you a case of beer for that same amount of money. Get a whole case. Whereas if you go to the club, you're only getting one for $15. You see? And a lot of dudes I used to work with, we made the same amount of money, but they was always broke. They were always broke because of the club. They go to the club, not just on the weekends, like they'll go on a weekday also. They'll go to the clubs on the weekday. They was always broke. Whether it was they was spending money on themselves, spending money on girls, all right, buying them drinks, stuff like that. And then the apparel, like the clothes they would wear, they would buy a whole new outfit just to go to the club. They couldn't be caught at a club being seen in the same outfit. So what they would do, like each time they would go, they'd spend like maybe $200 on a whole new outfit, new shoes, new jeans, new shirt, new shades, sunglasses, whatever, just a whole new outfit just to go to a club. And they would do that like each time they went. And they was always broke. So that's what I mean. It's really just a liability. And again, it's not what it used to be. This was back in the day. I can only imagine what the club scene is like nowadays. I hear people talk about it. I hear people talk about it, and it doesn't sound very pleasant because I'm telling you how it was back in the day. So I can only imagine what it's like now. Okay. But yeah, but even back then, dudes were getting rejected, and, you know, women were getting their egos inflated. All right. Because they got low self-esteem too. But yeah, even back then, it was pretty bad. Okay. Dudes go to the club, you know, they're confident. They're looking for a chick, but the chicks just reject them because she got a low self-esteem, and she thrive off of that rejection to build herself up. And like I said, that's what they do. All right. They'll go out with their friends, get all dressed up. And at the same time, it's like in-house competition. They're competing with one another. You know, it's pretty much like a game. They're competing with one another. All right. And the dudes too, the dudes are competing with one another. It's like, yeah, if let's say if it's a certain chick you like at a club, you got to compete with like every other dude at that club, or that whole club is, if it's like one or two females that everybody like, all right, you got to compete with all these other dudes. Unless you just a top guy, you got a lot of money, you're in shape, you're just exceptionally good looking, but that doesn't apply to most men. Okay. So it's just a huge competition. By you asking me, is the club scene immature? Yes, it is immature, just all around. It just sounds very unpleasant. It's not a very pleasant setting. It's not a pleasant atmosphere. And let's say if you do get lucky and you do meet someone, I mean, it's probably not going to be a good person, but let's say you do meet whoever at the club. The music's so goddamn loud, you can't even have a conversation with that person. You're going to be yelling like, what'd you say? You see, you can't even have a conversation with that person. You got to wait till you're outside the club. Like, you see what I mean? Just the music blasting, and you can't even hold a conversation with somebody like that. Yeah, but things are changing. Like I said before, a lot of guys rather just stay home. You know, they rather enjoy their own company. People are getting smart now. Some guys, you just can't break out of that habit, you know, going to the club every weekend and spending all this money and getting nothing in return. But a lot of guys, they're just they're staying home. They're enjoying their own company. Rather than blowing $500 in a single night, they rather just get a case of beer and throw a party at their own house. You know, that's better anyway. You call a bunch of people over, throw a party at your own house. You see, that's better than going to a club. Because like I said, they're just lame, honestly, the way it's become. Because I hear guys talking about it, and yeah, it doesn't sound very pleasant. It's like, what's the point in going there? Nothing ever usually comes out of that. And if you do meet a person at a club, I mean, I just don't see how that works, because you're meeting somebody at a club. You're not meeting like a virtuous or a quality individual. That's what I'm trying to say. You're just not, because that person just, you can't get that lifestyle out of them. They're going to be at the club every weekend. If you're in a, let's say if you meet this person at a club, you form a relationship with them, they're still going to have that in their blood, wanting to go to the club and get that rush, that feeling. You see what I mean? It's just, why would you want to be involved with someone like that? You see what I mean? If it's just like a hookup, all right, whatever. But trying to like actually form a relationship, someone like that you meet in the club, I don't know, man. I mean, to each his own, but that's not the way I was brought up. You know, I was brought up like not to look for someone in the bar or a club. For real. I mean, anyone with common sense would know that. It's just, and another thing about the club scene, most people that go there are very narcissistic. They're very self-centered. They're very narcissistic. I mean, I'm sure they're hard to have a conversation with. They act narcissistic, but they're lacking something on the inside. But that's the way they portray themselves to the world, you know. It's very, very narcissistic, egotistical, self-centered. Let's say you're a 5'8" guy or a 5'7" guy. You're going to be overlooked, you know, because they go to these clubs, they say what type of guy they want. If you're a shorter guy, they just treat you like, they treat you like nothing. So that's another way it's immature. It's all about vanity, and it's all about superficial things. Okay. Superficial things. That's why they get all dressed up. And that's why these guys buy $1,500 or $1,200 Jordans and all this stuff to try to impress females. Okay. The jewelry, all that stuff is to impress females. That's why they're doing it. When they buy the $500 table, that's to impress women. All right. I mean, which there ain't nothing wrong with impressing women, but there got to be a limit. You know, when you go out to a club and spend $500 on a table, or you buy a whole new outfit just to try to attract a female, I mean, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. It's not because that individual like you for who you are. You're doing it for superficial reasons, you see. So, but a lot of people don't have sense like that to know that, to realize that. But yeah, so that's really all I gotta say on that. Yeah, the club scene is immature. It really is, because you got a bunch of grown adults acting this way. And like I said, if you're a guy, you know, like with these height requirements, again, if you're a guy that's not a certain height, you're gonna get shot down more than likely. You're gonna get shot down. Or if she do like you, let's say you're 5'7" or 5'8", or maybe you're a little out of shape, I don't know, whatever. If she do like you, you know what's gonna happen. If she do show a little interest in you, you know what's gonna happen. If she got a group of friends with her, but she like you know what's gonna happen. Those same friends gonna tell her, don't fuck with you, all right, don't deal with you. And she's gonna be pressured by her friends not to deal with you. That's what's gonna happen. So again, that's what I mean when I say it's just, yeah, it's not a very pleasant place. I'm surprised people still go to clubs, honestly. Guys go there to get rejected, and women just go there to compete with other women, really. That's really all it is. That's the best way I can sum it up. Loud music and overpriced drinks. And yeah, that's really about it. I just summed up the whole club scene in a few words. That's really all it is. It's, yeah. Oh, and to occupy, to give them something to do on the weekend, because they have nothing else to do on the weekend but go to the same club they've been to 100 times. That's what I mean when I say adults. That's the only way they can have fun. They have no other, they can't come up with something more creative in their mind to do than just to go to the same club they already been to. Pretty much see the same group of people, hear the same music, do that every weekend, okay? People say their 9-to-5 job is boring. Well, going to the same goddamn club every weekend is boring too. It gets old. People say they hate their job. Their job gets old. They get sick of being around the same people. Well, the club ain't no different. You're around the same people. It's usually the same people that go to that club. You're doing the same activities. You see? Yeah. Well, at least that's how I see it. I mean, maybe people think differently, but that's how I see it. If that was me doing that every weekend, I know I would get bored. I want to do other activities. But like I say, ask the typical adult what they're doing on a Friday or Saturday night. I bet you it's going to have something to do with drinking. That's all adults know how to do. And then a lot of them, they're so stressed out with their job and they just hate their life so much. They just want to drink to kind of alleviate all that. But you know what? Sunday night, you're going to get that Monday anxiety, and it's back to the work week. You see what I mean? So, but that's all I got to say on that. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys ever been to the club? Are you guys interested in that? If you guys are watching this channel, I'm sure most of you're not into that type of stuff, okay? Because I know you guys' personality. I know most of you guys probably aren't into that type of thing, or maybe if you were, it's probably when you were younger. You were young, you didn't know as much, but in the more mature age you are now, I'm sure you couldn't care less about that. All right, because me, when I was younger, I used to do a lot of things like that. But as I matured, my mind developed and I just lost interest. My friends, they maintained that interest. They kept wanting to do stuff like that, but me, as I matured, my mind just requires more stimulation than doing something so low vibrational. My mind just requires more. It's a lot of different activities I can engage in to have fun. I don't gotta go out and get wasted every weekend just to have fun. No, there's other things I can do. It's just there's so many things I can do to enjoy myself, So yeah, that's all I got for this one. If you guys got any requests, let me know and I'll get to them when I can. Catch you on the next one. Oh, and here's another thing. I was just about to pull out of here, but this app popped in my mind too. Here in Marion County, usually I'm in Pensacola, but I be in Marion County too. We had a club here back in the day. It was called OEC, Ocala Entertainment Center. This was this had to be like back in 04, 05. But we had Trick Daddy and Trina come out. Okay, Trick Daddy and Trina had came out and they performed at this club. And this club was in the hood too. It was on Martin Luther King Avenue. It was in the hood. When Trick Daddy and Trina came out that night, that club got shot up. I think one person actually, yeah. But anyway, the club got shot up. And they ended up shutting that club down. They shut that club down and the building got turned into something else. It got turned into like some warehouse. But it got shot up for no reason. All right. One person got injured. No one actually died, but one person got injured. But it's just the fact that people could have died for really no reason. It just got shot up. I don't know what happened, but somebody probably got mad, argument probably broke out. Maybe somebody stepped on somebody's shoes, but the club got shot up and everybody scattered. And that was the last time a high profile person obviously came out, because they shut the club down after that. So that's just another thing. People don't know how to act. Yeah, people try to go there to have a good time, but people just don't know how to act. It's always a risk. See? And that was one of the few clubs they had here. That one got shut down. And then we had another one called Cloud 9. That one didn't get shot up, but there used to be a lot of altercations, and that one ended up getting shut down. So the one called Cloud 9, did I say Cloud 9 or Club 9? Well, anyway, it's called Cloud 9. One was called OEC, the one where Trick Daddy and Trina came out and got shot up. Then another one was called Cloud 9. That one got shut down because there was always fights and altercations breaking out. So again, the club scene is just it's stupid. It's stupid and lame and immature. All three of those. And these are all grown adults. All right. And the one in the OEC one, yeah, that one was in the hood, but all these clubs are in the hood. Okay, the Cloud 9 one, that was actually in an affluent area. That one wasn't in the hood. So you can't just say that this only happened in the hood, because that's not true. Just clubs in general. Yeah, hood clubs are worse, but just clubs in general, they all got issues. Okay. But both of those clubs got shot down. But I'm glad I thought of that, because back in the day, it was all in the newspaper and everybody's talking about it. Yeah, it got shot up while they were performing. All right, while they were on stage performing, the club just got shot up. All right, and another thing I want to throw in there, one of my buddies, he's a barber. All right, he got his own shop. Matter of fact, he got a barber school. That same club that got shot up, he had a booth in there where he would cut dudes' hair. And so he got a regular barber shop out in town, and he also had a booth within that club where he would cut dudes' hair. So they come to the club looking raggedy. They could look fresh after a fresh lineup or a cut. He said he would charge $150 just for a haircut in that club, and dudes would pay it $150. Whereas if they went to his other shop out in town, they probably pay like $25. But in the club, he would charge over $100 for a haircut, and dudes would pay for it. Okay, so again, this confirms what I said about dudes go broke by being in the club. They spending that much money on the haircut, $150 for a haircut, because his name was Jose. All right, Jose told me on Friday and Saturday nights, that's when he would make his most money. Yeah, he would make money at his other shop, but Friday and Saturday nights when he would make his most money, because these dudes would come to the club, want to look fresh, want to look good for females, and they didn't mind spending $150 for a freaking haircut. Sometimes just a lineup, not even a full haircut. Sometimes just a lineup. He would tell me. See, so yeah, I was just about to pull out here, and I thought of that, so I wanted to add that to the video. So yeah, that's how the club is. People don't know how to act. All right, fights break out. It gets shot up if you in the hood or just wherever. You talk to somebody's girl, they don't like it, start an altercation with you. That's the club scene for you. All right, so yeah, I'm gone for real this time. I'll catch y'all on the next one.